This is Zaid with UFZ discussing how to write AI prompts. So if you have experience with ChatGPT, you know the simple model, you know that how you extract proper value out of these models is inputting the correct prompts and communicating with it properly. So at times the outcome may resemble a raw diamond that holds value, but it requires additional polishing. Enter the chain of thought principle, a more effective and meaningful way to have effective communication with these models, similar to what you would in the professional world. You build rapport. You don't immediately go in swinging with huge amounts of data and information. You don't just reveal your personal life story to people. You just bump into the streets and whatnot. Similarly, with the chain of thought principle is you're going to start off with bits and pieces. You're not asking one giant question, you're asking a specific set of questions. This method suggests breaking down a complicated problem into smaller parts, like breaking a large rock into smaller pebbles. By doing this, the language learning model, you give it a guided direction, which greatly enhances the likelihood of obtaining a precise and beneficial response. So what is the chain of thought principle? In basic terms, it is a systematic method of solving problems using an LLM. It includes identifying the fundamental issue that needs to be resolved, dividing into small issues or tasks into the middle stages, and then addressing each individual issue at an organized approach. That way, you can combine each small response and get a conclusive response instead of inputting one large prompt and expecting one large answer. So you can do this with the ChatGPT, the Claude 2.0. You can do this with Bard if you're doing mostly market insights and research. So this is a sort of way for you to input little things, figure out what it is that you have at the large scale problem, and then break it up into smaller bits and pieces, isolate each example and feed it. Give it like a little journey. Don't start with, hey, how do I find this? What are some of the trends regarding this? Don't ask huge questions, consequences, long-term effects, other considerations, this, that, and that. Do it in little bits and pieces and then combine each response. So when you address each task, you're essentially creating a path, like stepping stones that leads to our ultimate answer. And that thought process for generating AI prompts, it's a comprehensive approach that you can use in different cases. So if you're an academic researcher trying to understand a particular subject, or a business analyst looking for market trends, the chain of thought principle can be your strategy for effective prompting. So this is a way, for you to add to your toolkit. So let's say this approach reflects how people think, as we often break down difficult problems into smaller, more manageable ones. So you want to get the most out of the language learning model. It's important to recognize that not all prompts are the same. Some questions may be too vague or unclear, resulting in inaccurate and unrelated responses. So when you're using this principle, you are improving accuracy, because these models, they handle smaller, more specific questions. I don't know why I'm trying to be fancy. They handle those things a lot easier. So this will help. So if you're ever wondering about how this principle is implemented, let's consider a situation where a company wants to use the language learning model for analyzing the markets. Instead of using a general instruction such as inform me about the current trends and technology, the chain of thought principle recommends asking a series of more specific questions. So you want to enumerate the technological advancements that are currently emerging in the field of technology. One question. Describe how tech is affecting the market. Another question. Determine the main individual groups who are leading the advancement of these technologies. Another question. Make a forecast of the future market trends for the next 5 years by examining the current situation. So each one of these specific questions then gives you each specific answer that you then combine for a holistic analysis on what exactly it is that you're trying to research.